Blacksmith Simulator came out on January 21st of this year for Steam, and I got a free key from the developer to review it. It's currently on sale for $12.79 US. So, is Blacksmith Simulator worth checking out? This review will answer that question. The answer is no. Blacksmith Simulator isn't worth checking out. In fact, there is a prologue version that's a demo of the game that you can play for free to see if you like it. I guarantee you that you probably won't. Let's start the review by talking about the graphics and technicals. Graphically, Blacksmith Simulator reminds me of a mod for Elder Scrolls Oblivion, but not in a good way. The game just doesn't look good. The character models are all the same person, the environments aren't detailed, the skyboxes are bad, and the same birds cycle through the air all the time. Technically, the game isn't optimized, and I had to drop down the resolution despite the fact that this game looks like it could run on the original Xbox. I didn't have any crashes, but there were a lot of bugs. So what will you be doing in Blacksmith Simulator? Well, you're going to be forging swords. How do you do that? With a lot of tedious difficulty. The game lacks a very good tutorial. It's more of a few steps in the forging process, but without explaining how to do those steps. For example, you take an ingot, heat it up in the furnace, put it on an anvil, hammer it, put the hot sword blade in a barrel of water, then in a vice grip so that you can put the hilt on, sharpen it, and sell it. But the problems come right from the beginning of the process. Ingots come from ores, and aside from the first one, you don't get any more than that. So you need to go down a long series of stairs to a mine near the beach shore to get ore. You find a mine, you pay half your wealth to open up just the first section, you go to a deposit, and mine by holding the mouse button. Then the piece of ore just flies out of the wall, and you need to chase it down and pick it up. Now, some weapons require multiple ingots, and upgrades for your tools and equipment can require a lot of ores and ingots, so you're going to need a ton of them. But you can only carry one ore at a time, up these ridiculously long stairs, and the intention is to use a minecart and crane to get a bunch of ores up there at the same time, but the crane is broken at the start of the game and it's going to take a long time for you to unlock it. So you hike up and down the stairs a bunch, carrying one ore at a time. You take that ore, you put it in the smelter to turn it into an ingot, you work the bellows to increase the heat, and for some reason there's a heat indicator on the side that lets you know if it's too low, just right, or overheated. But to my knowledge, overheating an ore or anything else has no effect on anything, so crank the heat to the max. The ore eventually melts into an ingot, and then you'll find that you can't pick up the ingot because it's too hot. So I went around the shop looking for tongs to lift it up. After a few minutes, I found that by right-clicking, I could switch tools. I wish the game had told me that. Put the ingot on the anvil, and it's time for a minigame. Blacksmithing is apparently all about minigames where you have to hit the mouse button when the indicator is in the green section. Take the hot sword from the vice grips, and then you find that you don't have any hilt or equipment or anything like that, so you need to hike back down the endless staircase to find a guy next to the beach who sells them. By the way, the characters hiss at you to get your attention, and they all speak Polish.
Queno rivo fortissimo bina. Daro rivo milda kiwi. Daro kevi, refena milda.
Buy the hilt and stuff, you climb the stairs again, put them on the sword blade with another minigame, then it's time to grind it to a polish with another minigame, and then put it in a box to sell it. Which is weird because the guy who ordered the sword is standing next to the box, so I couldn't just hand it to him, you have to put it in the box. Rinse and repeat until finally you run out of water in your barrel for cooling down the swords. The well is broken and requires ingots you don't get at the beginning of the game. You need to unlock more of the mine. But you don't have any money to open it up, and the orders only give you a couple gold each, since you need to spend most of that money on hilts. There's also a reputation bar that I have no idea what it does. The game doesn't explain it, and the people come non-stop to your shop with orders, so it can't have anything to do with attracting business. And the orders themselves are often for things that are way higher level than you can make. So I guess it's just useless. Look, this game is bad. It's not in a sellable state. It's like a concept game that somebody made for like a high school project or something. Just don't buy it. I'm the Casual Console Gamer, and I'll see you all in the next review.